Captain Starlog, October 20th, 2017. Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been paying attention, you know that I was recently at the London Comic-Con in my hometown here, London, Ontario. And William Shatner was there. A lot of great, interesting people were there. Saw a lot, did live streams from it. I'm actually going to be releasing a video containing all the live streams and any of the videos I got on site as a separate thing to this video. But I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about some of the stuff I got, some of the stuff I did, and how things were as a whole. So first of all, got to hang out with a lot of my good friends again, some cosplayers like London Batman, Dr. Doom, a whole bunch of other great people. They're all fantastic, and we had a blast this weekend. It was super busy, super fun. Here's my badge. Had a staff pass, and there's London Comic Con with William Shatner on there, which is awesome. This is presented by Start.ca, which is the company Sylvia works for, and they did a fantastic job this year. Had a few complaints. The air conditioning wasn't working, so it was brutally hot, but you know, take it for what it is. I'd hate to be in costume. I wore my uniforms. I had the yellow one first day for command. Second day was my gray one. This day I did my presentation. Third day I was debating wearing this one, but then I decided against it and wore just my Trekyards t-shirt. So you'll see pictures and stuff cycling through of all the people and things that I saw, which is fantastic. Had a great time. Met a lot of great people. Got a lot of cool stuff. I actually met one celebrity. His name is Paul. He's from a show called Storage Wars Canada. Stopped by his booth. He was actually loading up, bringing up in all of his supplies and stuff on the Friday when I was there early for setup. And I'm like, that guy looks so familiar. He's been on TV. What do I know him from? I couldn't quite place him. And then like later in the day, just snapped. It's like, oh yeah. And then I couldn't find his booth till like the next day. But I did track him down. So Storage Wars Canada, this is him right here. That's Paul, and that's his son Bogey. And then there's the other characters from the show. So got his autograph. He also got a picture of him giving me this. This is $500,000 from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. He signed it. This was actually one of the shows that they filmed for the show. They discovered this in a locker in a mattress, and this is all worthless because the company that printed it is now defunct, so it's actually worth less than the paper it's printed on. So they found thousands of notes of this. They thought they'd hit it rich. They thought they'd hit big time, but they didn't. So he hands this out now. So in the photo, it looks like he's paying me off to get a photo with him. So it's fantastic. He was a great guy to meet. I loved chatting with him once I figured out who he was. Nicest guy in the world, telling me about the behind the scenes of Storage Wars, how the producers are, have them read a script and things. So just proof that the reality TV show thing isn't actually reality a lot of the time. So that was pretty interesting. I could have talked to him for hours. Ended up speaking to him for about half an hour on the Saturday. Sunday he wasn't there. He does a weekly radio show out of Toronto between 1 and 2, I believe, and he said he was going to mention Trekyards on there because he's a huge Star Trek fan, and I told him all about the web series. So it was great that way. Nice guy. I really want to meet with him again and hang out. He owns a business, Toronto Gold and Silver Coins, which is on Yonge Street, 10341 Yonge Street, Richmond Hill. And there he is. That's him and his son again there too. So so basically they buy coins, they buy jewelry, and then they sell it. And they also do things that they find in lockers, they sell there as well. So awesome guy. Had a fun time talking to him, and was really digging that. That was the Saturday after I had done my panel, our live presentation for Trekyards, which went really smoothly, by the way. Got in there an hour and a half beforehand, and had the guys help me set up the equipment, because last year was a real mess up because they didn't have a good internet connection at all. They finally figured it out last year, but it delayed our thing by a little bit. This one was pretty much all right. We were pretty much right on time and everything, so everything went well. As always, I was nervous going into it, but once I'm there, it was great. We had quite a few people in the room, probably about 20 or so, which is more than last year. A few of them are my friends. There was Chris Curran there. He's a Klingon. He's part of KEG, the Klingon Assault Group here in Canada. Also, my friend Emily Fables, she was there. They asked a few questions, had some interaction with some of the other people in the audience as well. Overall, went really well. Not sure how well it recorded and whatnot, because just the lighting in the room, I was kind of dark, but I don't know. We'll see what Samuel can do with the footage when it eventually gets made into an episode. I still have to send him the audio from my end, so that hasn't been done yet. So I don't know when that's going to happen, because the one we did film there last year still hasn't been released. It just kind of always gets set on the back burner, and there's like, we've always got other things to do as far as that goes. So things get bumped, and this was one of those things that just keeps getting bumped, which is a shame, but hopefully you guys will see it eventually. Also on the Friday, I didn't anticipate on doing this, but I thought, okay, I've already had my picture with William Shatner taken once. It's hanging out in the other room. That was at Fan Expo in Toronto a few years ago. I thought, well, why not? I'm wearing my Trekyards uniform. Why not get one with Shatner with me in my Trekyards uniform? So I went ahead and paid $80. He was charging $80 for a photo and $75 for an autograph. So if you wanted both, that was pretty brutal. I already have his autograph a few times on a few different things, so it wasn't necessary for me to get the autograph. But I did go ahead and splurge and got the photo, which went fairly well. He was about 45 minutes late, so we were waiting in line quite a while. It was pretty hot and stifling. There was no air movement back there. And at like one point, for like a few minutes, I felt like I was going to pass out. I was getting lightheaded. I hadn't eaten anything that day. I had filmed earlier in the day with Samuel. We had filmed our Orville review, and I had a Monster energy drink, and that was it. Then I went to the convention, bought the ticket, and ended up getting in line, and so all I had was a Monster energy drink in me at like it's probably around 3:45 or 4:45, 5 o'clock, when I started feeling kind of so it's my own fault. But anyway, the end result, here's the photo. I look absolutely giddy, which was interesting. They were rushing everybody through for the photos, but yes. But so it was very quick. Bill was sitting there. I went up behind him, put my arm around his chair, and as I was getting into position, I'm like, "Hey, Bill, how's it going?" He goes, "Good, good, nice to see you." And then he looked back at the camera, and the cameraman's like, "Okay, get ready." And I'm like standing up, and all of a sudden it's like, chick, the flash goes off, and I'm like, "Is that okay? Because I don't think my face." And the guy looks at the screen, he goes, "It's good, it's good." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll trust you." So that's the look on my face. It's a smile that I never give, but it was me looking up, getting ready, and then, so very fast, very kind of impersonal in a way. But I did get to, touch him on the back and be like, "Hey, Bill, how's it going? Nice to see you." And same thing, he said, "Nice to see you back." So that was awesome. More than I could have asked for. He was very friendly that day. So yeah, I'm pleased to have met him again, and got my picture with him. So I don't know how much longer he's going to be here. Hopefully for quite a long time. But let's just, I'm glad I got that with the Trekyards in there. So there's Trekyards with Captain Foley. Or Trekyards with Captain Kirk, William Shatner. So that's awesome. I'm going to get that framed and put up with the other one in the other room. Also in the other one, I was younger. I didn't have this or this, which is the Captain Foley trademark now. I can't get rid of it even if I wanted to. And trust me, I've wanted to a few times. I might eventually. Who knows? That's another story for another day. But, so yeah, so that was a good day. Again, got to hang out with a bunch of people, saw a bunch of people. You'll see here, you can tell which day is which by the picture, because if I'm wearing the yellow shirt like this, that's the first day. If I'm wearing the gray shirt, that's the second day, that's the Saturday. And if I'm wearing just my Trekyards t-shirt, that'll be the third day. So that was the first day. Sylvia came by after 5 o'clock when she was done work. We hung out there for a little bit, and then went home. And then on the Saturday, I drove my friend Dr. Doom down there. He was in costume, full Dr. Doom costume. So we're there early. I wanted to get there early because I did have my panel at 11 o'clock. I didn't want to be late. Or no, sorry, 11:45. Didn't want to be late. So I went in early, actually, and checked with the AV guy, who's like, "Oh, I remember you from last year. Okay, you're doing the same kind of thing." I'm like, "Yeah." So we set it up. There was one or two little audio issues just as we were starting, but he worked those out on his end, and so that worked out fine. The panel went really well, as I said, and yeah, we were talking about what makes a good hero ship in Star Trek, and went through the definition of a hero ship. Looked at a few, looked at all the ones from Star Trek. It's hard to fit it in the 45 minutes because we were running up on like half an hour, and we were still only talking about the refit, just moving on to the D. So we kind of sped up the last little bit, but it worked out really well. Had people coming up to me afterwards saying that they loved the show, and one person wanted to meet me, wanted an autograph actually, which was cool. And just a few questions as I was closing things down and saving things. And Samuel was kind enough to Skype in for that because he had a friend over and they had been drinking a little bit. So he had a little bit, but he was good. He conserved it beforehand, so he was fine during the presentation. Afterwards, he went out and got his drink on. So thank you to Samuel for that. So that's awesome. Then the next day, I got later in the Saturday, I really could enjoy myself. I walked around again, chatted with a few people, ran into a gentleman by the name of John. I have to go get his business card. Hold on a second. So I've got his business card here. His name is John Ridley. The Art of John Ridley. Professional scribbler. He's also got a DeviantArt page. He's Inspector97 on DeviantArt. See that there? Some of his art. He's got some fine ladies. These are the other things you can look him up on. Look him up the web on the DeviantArt page. Inspector97 or Inspector97 at DeviantArt.com. Or you can email him if you have any requests for commissions. There's his email. And also visit him on Facebook under Inspector97 as well. Great guy. Big Trekyards fan, actually. He's from Baden, which is very near me. I actually went to school at Waterloo, Oxford, secondary school, which is just outside of Baden. So, small world. He was at the London Comic Con last year, as were we. I was there also, and he's wondered how he missed me last year. This year he made an effort to actually see me. We talked for quite a bit. We share a lot of views in common as far as TOS and things go, so great guy. I'm going to get him to do up some more artwork, some pin-up art, because he does do pin-up art, and he does have some Star Trek stuff, some Andorian ladies and things like that. So I'm going to work with him in the future to get some more Star Trek art, Trekyards art for you guys. Which we can maybe do t-shirts and stuff down the road as well. So that was exciting. Also ran into a gentleman from London named Eric Knight, who does a show called Trek Finds. You can go to www.trekfinds.net and check his out, where basically he shows off his collection and talks a little bit about each one. He's done season 1, he didn't take seriously at all, but season 2, he had a trailer for it and everything. He debuted it at the con on Sunday, so check him out as well, trekfinds.net. Check out his videos, very interesting. He wants to maybe come over and check out some of my collection and maybe use some of my collection to do some of his show. And I'm fine with that. I love helping out people, especially in the Trek community that are trying to get started with the show or whatever. I think it's really fun, and he absolutely loved hanging out with us, or me. I keep saying us because of Trekyards, but me because I was there. And great guy, really friendly, and definitely had a fun time with him. Saw him each day. Missed his panel on Sunday by like literally 5 minutes because I was running late, as I knew I would be that day, because he had asked me to open up for him, and he had a little thing on his phone for me to read should I have the opportunity to do so, but I didn't. I couldn't make it on time, and I apologize profusely. I thought I'd catch the end of his presentation, but I didn't. They had just wrapped up and they were just setting up for the next one by the time I got there. So I felt really bad, but I did run into him and talk to him. So trekfinds.net, guys. You'll be entertained, I'm sure. Also did a podcast with a gentleman named David Benson from Stick to the Story social media and promotions, sorry. So Stick to the Story on Facebook, and Stick to the Story with the number 2 for Twitter. He's got an interesting podcast, talks to a lot of people. In his real life, he actually designs and builds wooden canes. And Nichelle Nichols actually bought 3 from him and took one on one of her suborbital flights that she did, which was really interesting. Got him a lot of exposure. So he talked to me for a little bit, the live the live podcast he did is on his Facebook. If you check it out, I've shared it in the Trekyards page as well, so you can go back and check that out as well. So that was fun. What else happened? Well, then I started doing a little bit of looking around for stuff to spend money on, which I shouldn't have done. I don't have a lot of money, A, and B, I don't have any room to put anything right now. Eventually, once we start doing that move up to the other room, I will have room, hopefully. But right now I don't, so I shouldn't be buying things. But I saw some great deals and I had to scoop those up. So I'm going to show you those in a second. And then I just want to give you a quick recap of the Sunday, because that Sunday I went with Sylvia and Christian really got a kick out of the medieval Renaissance fair stuff they had there. Sword reenactments, fighting, things like that. He spent a lot of his time down there, which was fine. And he had to get a real kick out of that. So his old man, me, I can sword fight. 20 years ago I was into that big time. So they were showing the techniques and stuff, and I'm like, this is all stuff I've already showed him, because I know fencing, some medieval broadsword, and some kendo. So yeah, that was interesting to do that. It kind of got me an urge to do it, get me back in shape and doing it again, because it's really fun and I really miss doing it. So one of my good friends, Bill Kovacs, is actually one of the Renaissance fair guys. So he's like, you know, I said, you should come over and check out my sword collection, and maybe we can do some sparring in the backyard, kind of get me back up to speed. He's like, yeah, that sounds like fun. He also goes to these conventions. He does Boba Fett. He does an Imperial officer. He does a bunch of other cosplays. And Boba Fett's awesome, by the way. So yeah, lots going on the Sunday as well. And it was just a general wrap down. And then London Batman came over to my place, and we had like a post-convention hangout with him, which was fun. We had a little bit to drink, had some Kraken and Coke, and we did a live Facebook feed. A lot of you probably saw it. London Batman and Captain Batman. I'm Captain Batman. So anyway, that's going to be included in the other video I do that is just a wrap up. It has all of the footage, live and otherwise, that I took during the course of that weekend. It's a really fun compilation video. You guys need to check it out if you're interested in what happened during the convention. This is more just an official captain's log kind of thing, where I show you what I got and give you a rundown of what happened. But if you want to watch the actual goodness, there will be another video going up so that you guys can appreciate that, and hopefully you guys will like it. So check it out if you're interested. But long story short, too late. Let's look at some of the swag I got. Basically all the swag I got was books this year. There was a great book vendor there, and they had stuff on sale for wicked awesome prices, so I had to get some. This first one is Star Trek New Visions. Sorry, this is where they use actual screen grabs and stuff from the show, and they make up new stories with the original photos, so it's like you're watching a new episode. Fantastic idea. There's a few of these out now, but I thought I'd grab this one because it was on sale. This was $5, and this is normally $20. So had to get that one. This one, oh, this one's awesome. This is Star Trek, the John Byrne, that name, collection. I love all the ships in the Delta. It's very Trekyards like. But this is IDW comics based on Star Trek, and there's some excellent artwork and great stories in these IDW books. They really go all out, and I've got a bunch of other IDW books over there, even one from Fan Expo a few years ago with Shatner that he signed. That was a limited edition print with his face on the cover that I have signed by him. So that's awesome. So, thick book. That's going to be a lot of reading, but a lot of good reading, a lot of good storytelling, and more Star Trek goodness there. The next three are all Transformers related. This is Transformers, again, IDW. This is volume 6. I've got volumes 1 through 4 down there. I still need to find 5. This I found for $10. Sorry, this one was $5 as well for that, which is insane, because that one is regularly $34.99. This one is regularly $50, so $49.99. Got it for $10, and again, this is IDW. It's just their take on the Transformers verse. Lots of great stories, lots of great characters. A lot of characters get a lot more development than they ever did in the comics, or the previous comics or the cartoon. Again, fantastic artwork. If you're a Transformers fan, it's well worth a read. And for the price, $10, I couldn't pass it up. These next two are $10 each as well. This one I was considering buying from the store probably 6 months ago. I had it in my hands. I almost bought it. Glad I didn't. And that's Transformers, The Art of Prime. So this is the art from the show Transformers Prime. And this is just like a concept art book here. There we go. Where it's got a lot of the drawings of the interiors and ship designs, character designs. Goes through all the Transformers, how they look, how they were designed. Different iterations of them before the finalized versions. So a great coffee table book, awesome Transformers artwork, and a lot of conceptual stuff that never made it in the show, but it's fantastic, and people spend a lot of time and effort on these. I love looking through these. Anything concept art and like beautiful visuals, I love it. And that's exactly what the next one is as well. One of my favorite Transformers games ever was Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. Well, this is The Art of Transformers Fall of Cybertron. And again, this is the exact same thing as this Prime book. Just showing fantastic artwork. And concepts and things that you never saw in the game, things you did see in the game, the final versions of them. It gives rundowns on how things operate. You know, again, it goes through every character as well, their development process, just the scenery, unused bits. There's one of the characters, there's Vortex, and his alt modes and everything. Again, just a visually stunning book to just sit down with, put on the coffee table, and just sit down with a coffee and look through it and read the little tidbits about how things got designed. Things like that. So Shockwave. So, and Transformers, these games, these were done so well by High Moon Studios. The characters are perfectly spot on. They look like the G1 characters, but with Cybertronian parts. This is how Michael Bay's Transformers movies should have looked. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. So that's it as far as stuff that I picked up. Very heavy books, by the way. So, but could have passed that up. So again, $10 for this, $10 for this. So 30, $40 for all those books. That's less than the price of one of these books. The Star Trek Visions, or New Visions, is $20 new. So you get two of those. But yeah, the other ones are all $50, $60 each, brand new. And I'm glad I didn't buy them. I was tempted to buy these many times over the years. Glad I didn't. So, awesome there. Money I shouldn't have spent. It's going to be tight until, next payday kind of thing. But anyway, that's just the way it goes, I guess. Lots of entertainment for a long time reading these, and I'm looking forward to doing so. And I just wanted to share them all with you guys, as I tend to do. So, anyway, let me put those back over there. And I will call that quits for today, I think. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and checking out my story about London Comic-Con and all the excitement that happened. Oh, last thing, got to meet Mick Foley, the wrestler Mick Foley. He was, you probably know him as Dude Love or Mankind or Cactus Jack. But Mick Foley, last name Foley, can't go wrong. So I kind of, at the end of the convention, he was wandering around before he left, and I just went up and I said, "Hey, Mick, you got a second?" He goes, "Yeah, man." And he shook my hand, and I was like, "My name's Stuart Foley. Nice to meet you." He goes, "Oh, you're a Foley. That's awesome." I said, "Yeah, I just want to thank you for every time you come out, all the signs in the audience that say Foley is God. You're goddamn right we are." And he got a little snicker out of that. He just recently had knee surgery and had his knee replaced, and so did my mother-in-law, which is interesting. So he was in a bit of pain from that, and but I'm glad he was nice. He was very friendly, very nice. I had a great experience with him and Shatner this weekend. So overall, it was a great weekend, and had a lot of fun with my friends, and spent money I shouldn't have. Saw a lot of other stuff I really wanted to get, but really couldn't afford because it was too pricey. But anyway, that's that. Like I said, check out the other video as well. I will be including a link to it in the description after I put that one up. I'm not sure which order they're going up in, but check out the channel often. You'll see the London Comic Con, event video where it's all of my live streams and stuff from the event, showing the vendors and talking to the cosplayers and my friends and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of getting a feel for the weekend and how it went day by day. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that and check it out as well. So until next time, guys, as always, please subscribe and don't forget to check out other videos, and we'll see you back here sometime in the future. Bye, everybody.